If you're even a little bit good at basketball, you can get buckets. And I'm going to give you the exact formula. You don't need 100 moves. You don't need all these Instagram drills and all these other things that people are trying to tell you. I'm going to tell you the entire breakdown. And if you don't believe me, here's the testimonials. You can read them for yourself. You can pause it, look through them. People getting buckets based on what I said. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to tell you the exact formula you need to get buckets. Step number one is understanding that you can only be guarded in 5 different ways. They can send you left. They can send you right. They can play off you and give you space. They can play tight, or they can deny you the ball. That's the only way that people can guard. And once you understand, okay, these are the 5 ways I can be guarded, now what you got to do is you got to have a move for each. So if somebody's going to send you left, okay, what's my move for that? If someone's going to play off you, okay, what's your move for that? Like, for me, that's shoot it, right? If they play you tight, what's your move for that? Like, you got to know these type of things, but then you also got to have a counter. And so if they send you left, okay, I do my move, they stop it. What's your counter to that? All right, and it has to be a really, really good counter. And that's really all you need for all those type of things. Number 2, you have to understand the different types of defenders. And so there's defenders that are going to go for the first move every single time. So if you go right as hard as you possibly can, they're going to cut you off completely every single time. And so you got to have a different move for them, which is fake. And they probably going to jump it, and now you can go the other way. Right? And then there's people that are like, okay, I'm going to sit on the move. I'm waiting on the move. There's different types of defenders, and some are going to push you, some aren't physical. And so you got to understand who you're dealing with. So then you can add the moves and be like, okay, these moves work best on this type of defender. But then when I face this other guy who plays a whole different type of defense, okay, I got something for that too. The third thing is you have to understand the 80-20 ratio when it comes to basketball. 80% of the shots that you shoot, probably 90 to be honest with you, it's going to be very simple. It's going to be a catch and shoot. It's going to be, okay, pump fake, 1 dribble, pull up. You're going to cut and get a layup. Like, those are really majority of your shots. You know what I'm saying? Even the best players in the world, like, that's majority of their shots. You got to understand, like, you're not going to be getting into your bag all game. You're going to be, damn, I got to bleep that out. You're going to be very basic, and your coach is going to have a system for you, and he's going to say, okay, I want you to set this screen and do this. And so you got to understand, as soon as you touch that ball, are you ready to score or not? Master the 80%, which is like 1 dribble, 2 dribble shots, and catch and shoot, and simple cuts, maybe a pivot here and there into a layup or something like that. That's going to be majority of your shots. So that's what you should be practicing. Number 4 is, when you practice, you have to implement the 100x rule. What I mean is, you have to do the same thing 100 times in a row without changing it in order to get it down pat every single day. And so you might pick 3 things. Okay, I'm going to get good at catch and shoot. I'm going to do 1 dribble pull-ups, and then I'm going to do my right hand floater, right? I'm going to do all 3 of those things at least 100 times every single day until I get it down. And then it's like, okay, I'm starting to make these in the game. Now let me switch. Let me add something I've been missing. Okay, left hand floater. I've been missing that. Okay, 100x every day. 100 times I'm doing this left hand floater, right? And you could do reps or makes. It's up to you. At least get those 100 reps in and aim for a certain percentage. Okay, I'm gonna shoot my 100. Let me see if I can make 70, right? And then you get 70. Now the next time you do it, okay, I got to shoot 100, but now I got to beat my 70. So now you got that goal, so you can maintain your focus while you're doing those things. The 5th thing is, you have to play every single day. You have to play 5s. You got to play 1s, 2-on-2s, 21. I don't care what it is. You have to play basketball every day, or as much as possible, because you need that feedback loop, right? A lot of people wait, and it's like, okay, I'm going to wait for the season and see if everything I've been working on works. Like, that's too long of a feedback loop. Even if it's like 2 games of 5s, it's worth it, because then you can see the progress that you're making. And so if you're playing 5s every day, you will 100% notice if your catch and shoot is getting better based on your practice, right? So you need that instant feedback loop as fast as possible, and by practicing and playing at the same time. All right, number 6, you have to complete this formula in order to get every single thing to translate. And so it's courage. Like, are you brave? Are you going to go in and be like, okay, I've been working on this step back. It's game time. I'm about to try it. Like, are you brave enough to do that, right? Focus. Are you paying attention to something? You're not just out there frivolously shooting the ball and you don't even paying attention to your body and making minor tweaks in order to get better, right? You need that focus level. The 3rd thing, hours within this formula, hours. How much time are you actually spending training? And everyone's always like, well, I'd rather take quality over quantity or whatever it is. I want both. I want a lot of quality hours. And so that's what you're aiming for. It's not one or the other. It's usually both. Another part of that formula is experience. Are you playing the right level of competition? And are you playing a lot of it, right? And there's 3 different types of competition. You need one that's like a step below, so then you can dominate and like have confidence, be like, okay, I can play, right? And then you need competition that's the same, where it's like super competitive. You might win, you might lose, you don't know. And then you need competition that's a step above, where it's like a little bit out of your comfort zone, and you're not one of the best ones on the court, you know what I'm saying? And you got to kind of catch up and have that competitive fire so you don't just get blown off the court. I think you need all 3 levels of that. And then the last part of that formula is what I mentioned before, is details. Like, you have to be super detail oriented, and it's not good enough to just be like, okay, hold my follow through. It's like, how am I holding the ball? Okay, are my feet, are they too wide? Is my balance right? Am I leaning a little bit? Like, is my step right? Am I accelerating properly? Am I low enough? Like, these are the details that have to be studied and mastered. And the more detailed you get, the better you'll be and the more focused you'll become. All right, this is number 7. I'm gonna give you a bonus one. I left this one out by accident. If you do not have a structured plan of exactly what you're gonna do while you're working out, nothing you do is gonna translate. I'm telling you right now, if you don't go into the gym and say, okay, these are exactly the shots I'm working on, these are exactly the spots I'm shooting from, and this is exactly how many shots I'm going to make, right? Or you have some type of goal within that. If you don't have that, your game's not going to translate. You can't just be going to the gym on random and be okay, I'm going to do a little this, a little that, whatever feels good in the moment. It's like, no, there's no feel good. It's, you got to know what you have to work on based on your weaknesses, and you have to go work on it. I got this chart up here right now, and this is how I see the court when I practice. And so if you want to make your own structured plan, use this chart. And your job is to know what shots you're going to shoot from where. And so when you're in the 30s, in the deep mid-range, and you have the ball, what are the shots that you're going to shoot? And then you have to go and practice it in them spots. You can use the 100x rule and spread out the 100x over 7 spots. And so when you're using this chart, you have to take your weaknesses and rank them and be like, okay, my my right hand floater is really weak. I'm going to shoot it from every spot in the 10s and 20s, right? And I'm going to shoot this right hand floater. I'm going to make 10 from every single spot. That's really how you structure your plan. And if you want a plan that's already structured for you, just go to the description, go to my website. I already have them on there for anybody to get. And there's the testimonials of the people that got them, like you can read them. These plans these are things that I did. These are things that I tested on my students to see if it worked for them as well. If it's something you want to do and you don't want to have to think about, okay, well, what do I got to do? And I already put the 80%. I already put the exact spots that you need to shoot from. I already put the exact shots or the shot types or whatever it is. And I planned it out from A to Z. So you don't have to think, you just read it. It says, do this from these spots. You go do it and you come back, okay, here's the next one. And it's completely structured for you. And so if that's something you want, just go to my website in the description. You can go to the workout programs. It goes right to it. You can pick which one you want. It's $25. Otherwise, you can use every single thing that I said and plan your own. But that's all I got for you. I really hope this video helps you. Like, rewatch it and understand every single thing that I'm saying and go apply it. Like, don't just watch the video and be like, this sounds great, and then you don't do shit. Like, that's the worst thing that you could do. And so my advice to you is really go watch this video again and write down the things that are most important or things that you didn't know. And every day look at it and be like, okay, am I doing this? Oh, yep. Okay, am I doing this? Oh, I forgot about this one. Let me go and implement that. Like, really go and use every single thing that I'm saying to your advantage. And if you want the plan, you can just go straight to my website. And if you want free shooting resources, you can go to my website too. It's both in the description. And you can get whatever it is that you need for the time being. And, you know, go get a bucket. That's it. Bucket it.